I think the endless possibilities is what makes it hard to land on something. If you have endless possibilities, you're always like, well, what about that? Or what about this? You know what I mean? There's always a what if. But if you're in limitations, you kind of like, you're working in those boundaries and you use those boundaries as a springboard to push those boundaries as far as possible too, though. Because you're like, how far can I push those boundaries? In my limitations, how far can I push?
Because a lot of my work has always had color gradients and some sort of like ephemeral feel to it. And I just like that as a way of, I guess, like denoting inspiration. Like
cool.
Feeling a sense of something.
I get what you're saying.
And then adding a splash of color because I just like having like a fluorescent note.
I mean, I think fluorescents always have like such a strength, you know what I mean? Like, if they were only more replicable in print, it'd be without having to friggin' use Pantones all the time. It'd be ideal.
That's the hardest thing. Like even on screen, you can't quite get it right.
Yeah, sometimes like not quite there, right?
Nah.
There's something you only see in person, which I think is actually kind of maybe what's nice about it.
Yeah, and also like that's just the basic yellow. But then when I went to get some of the hoodies and t-shirts printed off, I had to get them to help me get the right mix because it's not quite yellow, it's not quite green. It's 80% yellow, 20% green kind of mix. But that's just flat yellow. But it only but
it does have the green tinge to it.
It does, probably because of the blue that's coming through it. So yeah, that was the idea behind the look and feel. But I think like it was just one of those play to your strengths. So for me, it was just like, okay, throw all your design power behind it and like fucking over design it if you have to. Just go balls to the wall with it.
Which works.
That's what I like. And I've never really been one to, I don't want to say follow trends. I do, keep an eye on what's happening.
I think like as a designer, it's like inherent that you know what I mean, like you know what's going on. You know what I mean, like it doesn't mean you necessarily need to follow exactly what everybody else is doing, but you're still aware of it. I try to be and see what ingredients I can pinch from that and add it to my quiver, I guess. Your own toolkit of stuff.
And I think even something like what's called Canva, I think that they've done a great job in helping. What I mean by that is that when Canva first came out, I know a lot of designers were shitting on it, but I loved it because what it did was that it elevated the floor. And it said that now this is the bare minimum.
Yeah, for sure.
And it became so vanilla, then it killed a lot of other designers because they were just doing the same
run-of-the-mill stuff.
Same run-of-the-mill shit. So now it's like, okay, cool, that's just elevated the floor. Anyone below that, you're gone. Now we're all being challenged to do something a little bit different. What is it that you bring? What's the design aesthetic that you can contribute to without it just being too outlandish or it can be outlandish.
And I think sometimes maybe that's potentially where it'll head, right? Is if like things become like the baseline of design will hit a point where it's so good that almost like it almost has to be absurd to be interesting.
I think that's where it's at.
Which is crazy, which is cool. I think that's like where like an interesting spot to be at.
But you got to kind of like, you got to move, you got to evolve, you got to develop and grow as well.
For sure.
So it's just a matter of, like you were saying, you just got to keep an eye on what's happening and seeing what works for you, what doesn't. And like it's like that Bruce Lee quote, take what works, discard what doesn't, and add what's essentially yours.
It's like his Jeet Kune Do thing, right?
So I think I love that. I love that philosophy just in all things in life because you're constantly just borrowing inspiration and putting it back out there to inspire other people. So it's just like
it continues to progress.
That's just like your work, dude. Because like I was saying before, your work is, you have an aesthetic, but it's almost borrowed.
Like all my work is like, all the things are not mine, right? They're like all taken from other things, and then they kind of become my thing in a weird way.
But it's also like that's an honest approach to it because I think a lot of people, a lot of designers, a lot of artists, they like to really take ownership on what they do.
For sure.
And I don't think they acknowledge enough that it's like, no, hang on a second. You're a vessel. For this, right? That's how I see it. Anyway.
For sure. And I guess that's like, I mean, partly like my thing being so blatant, it's like, you know where that thing's from. if you know that thing, you'll be like, oh, that's from like the 1995 movie poster of blah, blah, blah. So they can kind of, the reference is like, in a weird way, like, I'm not hiding it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Like one that you just had up with the Indiana Jones references as well. I was like, that's Harrison Ford.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah.
But then it's, you're playing on nostalgia, which is, that's a big thing.
I think, and I don't know, like, I'm always torn with this because, like, in a weird way, like, I think I am playing with nostalgia, but I don't know if I don't view it as, like, nostalgic in my sense. Like, I'm just pulling things from history that and in a weird way, I want to be taking things that are a little bit forgotten. So certain things that might be, like, something else. So, like, I think that actually the thing that you thought was Harrison Ford is not actually Harrison Ford.
It's not?
No.
That wasn't from, like, Temple of Doom?
No, it's from, like, maybe an Australian film? Oh. Yeah. So like, there's certain things that you might look at something and be like, that's that thing, but it's, like, another thing that you might not have heard of.
Right.
So it's, like, a weird...
So it's a bit like Lorem Ipsum.
Yeah, I guess in a weird way. Yeah, it's just like filler. Yeah.
So it's just referencing. So it's basically just hinting towards that, and you're kind of just like pulling at certain notes that aren't actually there.
Yes, in a weird way. And also, like, I think, like, like, I think my creative process is so much like, I'm, like, just scouring things, and then it'll be like, oh, wow, what is this thing? And, like, I'll pick a thing of interest, and then that will kind of lead the direction. It's not like... I don't have, like, how some people, when they're making work, they have a preconceived idea of, like, hey, I'm trying to show this thing. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm kind of almost being led by the research.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So, like, the visual, like, if I find a cool visual that I'm like, oh, yeah, like, there's something in this, then that will lead the direction of the painting.
But then that's also kind of, like, just par for the course as well. Like, how many, as a designer, how many times do you get a brief, think about what it is that you're going to do, and by the time you get to the end, it's nothing like what you originally thought?
Yeah, like, most of the time, right?
Just about every single time,
Yeah, like, only... I mean, there's a few times, and you probably had this, where you're like, you get the brief and you're like, you know the answer straight away. I don't know if you've ever had that, where you're like, okay, cool, I can picture this thing finished in my head, and then you do the thing and it's exactly how you imagined. I don't know if you've ever had that.
And then do you just, like, close the books and that's like, got it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like, if I know that's the thing... Which is weird, like, I don't know.
No, I've never had that. Yeah. That's what you strive for. But then there are times when, like, probably not so much with branding, but with other creative endeavors. There are times when I'm like, got it. But then I'm like,
have I?
Did I though?
Could this
go further?
I think that's the thing that frustrates me, is because you could go further forever.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I don't know about you, I have to draw a line in the sand, otherwise I'll never do anything.
You have to.
But I think some people don't. And that's why, like, I have friends that I know, they've been working on a project for, like, 10 years and they're still working, like, on a body of work. And they probably will be in 10 years' time because the work keeps evolving. But in that body of work, I reckon there's 10 bodies of work now.
Yeah. You do have to draw a line in the sand and use it almost like it's like a marker of time. Yeah. And I think one of the beauties is that if you can draw that line in the sand and just accept it for what it is, and then allow things to evolve and grow from there, because sometimes, like, not that you're intentionally putting in mistakes, you get your happy accidents, but then you're also allowing the space for, like, okay, I've learnt a lesson here that I can apply to the next thing rather than trying to correct it now.
And I also think if you try to correct everything now, like, I don't know, like, and I'm sure every artist is the same, like, you want to one-up the last thing you've done. So if your thing is never one-uppable, like, you know what I mean? Like, where do you go from there? And, like, if you're constantly trying to one-up the thing you're doing while you're doing it, it's like...
It doesn't stop.
Yeah, it doesn't stop. So, like, I think sometimes, like, that line in the sand is... I think it's critical.
Dude, like, for a lot of musicians, is their first album.
Yeah, right? For sure, right?
Drop an absolute banger, just puts them on the map.
And then they fall off.
Well, then, they sign a contract.
Yeah. And also, like, I think maybe it's like you put so much pressure on yourself. Then if your first thing is like, wow, this is it, you're always trying to compete with that. But I also think, like, I don't know, like...
It depends on what the expectations are, I think, you have of yourself, right? Like, as a creative artist like yourself, is there, like, an end goal to this, or is it because you said that you intentionally developed this aesthetic? Like you kind of like just went through a process and you said, here, right here, this is the thing that I'm going to stick to. But then does that also mean that you're intentionally closing off other things?
Yeah, I think you kind of do close other things off, like unintentionally, but I still think the space you allow yourself doesn't mean you can't be like, oh, you know what, at this time I'm gonna dabble with this other thing, and I mean,
because you got some pretty firm boundaries at the moment, right? Like, as in you collect your resource material, so you already have this process where. Like, do you improvise with or make adjustments to the reference material that you have?
No.
Yeah, cool. So that's already one parameter that you've set. Another one is that I'm dealing strictly with black and white, right? And that's a great one because just those two things alone, you've got your look and feel.
And it's also like the boundaries actually makes it kind of easier to experiment in a weird way. Like if I had unlimited boundaries, like I could be exploring forever. So I think I don't see those I mean, people might view that as limitations, right? As like, you can only paint in black and white, you can only paint from reference material, and you have this aesthetic that is almost like it's photocopied. So some people might be like, that's like too limiting. But I think in that space, there's so much room to like push and pull. So like, I mean, doesn't mean I can't use, like, I could do that same aesthetic on pottery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, hypothetically. You know what I mean? Like, I could do that in sculpture. And
scale's a big one for you as well. I think that's probably the most impressive part of it, because you're taking these little snippets
and making them big.
Making them massive.
And I think there's something weird that, like, it almost changes the thing.
Yeah.
It's like, like, you know, like this small headline was only ever viewed at, like, tiny size, and now it's like as big as me. It's like it really,
not even viewed at all. It would just be so dismissive. And I think that's one of the things that I really love about your work, right? Like you're taking something that would ordinarily just be ignored or just pass through, forgotten, right? And it's and then you will just give it another life and blow it up to this size where you can't miss it.
Yeah, it's like unavoidable. And I think that's one part of my work is and I know that's like, I'm sure everybody wants their work to feel unavoidable, but I think I think that's one thing. I'm like, how can I make somebody not ignore this thing?
Yes.
And maybe like this is me, like I always have an idea in my head of how I want the finished exhibition to look. Not the finished pieces, but as like an exhibition, I'm like, I want something here, I want something there. Like in my brain, I always have like a preconceived idea of that.
So you just go out, you scout for locations and get a lay of the land.
No, I don't even know if it's that. Like if I'm like applying for like whatever, a gallery show at this place, I'm like, if I was in this show, how would I want that space to feel?
And then just dominate it.
Then just like, like pretty much. Like it's like, how can I make this space either feel like constricted or overwhelmed?
Yeah, I've got this thing with I do with my son Lennox, the oldest one, where he, being the generation that he's in, they don't know how to feel bored, and they have a terrible relationship.
Such a weird thing to say. They don't know how to feel bored.
Well, he's like, it's more. He doesn't say it. He's more like, I'm bored. I'm like, awesome.
Yeah.
Like that's how lucky are you?
Yeah. How can you be bored?
Because they're just completely overstimulated all the time, and then we're not being stimulated. They don't know how to deal with it. So what I do is just get him to explore, right?
Yeah.
And I've talked about this before, but we just find a thing and then just try to dissect it and break it down, because there's so many things that we just don't acknowledge. We just take it for what it is. Like, okay, and just assume.
It's like taken for granted.
Take it for granted. Like literally anything, I think that if you want to look into it deeper, you'll find interest in it. So like these coasters, for example, they're just there holding our beverage vessels.
Yes.
Now these coasters, they're made out of wood. Like, let's explore that. Let's explore how they were cut. Let's explore how they were joined. And once you start looking to that, you're starting to find interest in something that you would have ignored.
Yeah, you just dismiss it otherwise.
Yeah. And that's the link to your work. I think it just puts them in a position to appreciate something that they otherwise just wouldn't have given a second thought or even a first thought to.
Yeah.
It would have just been out of sight, out of mind, gone, right?
Yes. And I think that's truly, that's something that I think is important in my work, is like largely a lot of things I'm dealing with are literally just like thrown in the bin.
Mm.
So it's like, it's nice to be able to give them a second life or maybe a third life or
just even like appreciation for something that wouldn't otherwise be appreciated, because you can find beauty in literally everything.
Yeah, true.
And I love, like, Chico, I love what he wrote about his work. 'Cause, like, he's like, it's not deep. Work isn't deep. It's just trying to highlight the beauty in things, right? So he has texture in his work, and there's a contrast, a composition, where he's not thinking about it, he's just doing it.
Yeah.
But then it's like an ode to the textures that we find on the street, the rock posters.
Yeah.
That we would look at it and we wouldn't think otherwise. But there's so many times I'll go for a walk past some rock posters, I'm like, that looks unreal.
Yeah. And I think probably similar to him, like we actually do have like similar, like how we came to our thing is probably in a similar way. Like
I think so.
Same thing for me is I used to always just take photographs of ripped street posters and, you know what I mean, like the textures from those, and so in a weird way, a lot of similarities.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know if people are going to hear that. That's nice.
That's
always good having construction going on in the background. You were saying about how, like, your look and feel, the aesthetic can be applied to so many different things. Dude, in the car on the way here, I was thinking about how your work could be like on a rug. Have you ever thought about doing that?
I've made
You made a rug?
Yeah, I've made rugs before.
Yourself?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like tufted rugs. Yeah, for like in my backwards show actually, there was
really?
There was 3. Yeah.
Sweaters.
Oh, sweaters. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah?
I've actually got some woven. I should have brought one. I got some woven scarves actually. At the art book fair currently. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That works for sure.
Yeah.
I really like it, and like just the simplicity of the black and white. That's such an understated look.
Yeah, and I think like, I mean, it is limiting that it's like you can only work in black and white, but it just opens opportunity, because in often ways like doing things in black and white is simpler in a weird way. Like there's like less technical things to worry about. Like even, like making a rug, I only need to use black and white. There's not like, I need to worry about shading and blah, blah, blah. And so.
Yeah, my mind works completely different. I try to throw in all the colors.
Yeah, which I think it's fine though, right? It's like what works for you, what like wouldn't work for me. And I think even like professionally as a graphic designer, I actually end up doing lots of things that have lots of color. You
kind of have to though.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's like kind of... Yeah, you have no say.
It's cool though, just to see that juxtaposition, that contrast, how you can distinguish between the Monday to Friday 9 to 5.
Yes.
And then flip the script and just do something vastly different.
Yeah, and I think maybe you're probably the same, right? It's like when you want to make your own work, you just want to make whatever you want to make. Like, and when you're making client work, there's definitely like, hey, is this person going to like this? Is this thing too far? Whereas whenever you're doing something, you just don't have any restrictions, so it's nice.
That's kind of a big reason why I've been paring back away from doing the
commercial work.
Yeah, it's a strange one because, like, as a designer, you kind of like you're being sourced because you're a professional in what it is that you're doing, but there's still so much restraint on the client side to want to push, like. You've got a particular... I don't want to necessarily say that designers have a particular aesthetic, but there is a slant that
there's a certain quality.
There's a certain quality that you go into.
Yeah, for sure.
But then there'll be times where like a client will come up to me and saying that, I really love your work. This is great. Love what have you done, X, Y, and Z. Can you please do a brand design that looks like this? And it's just like, that's not even in the same ballpark. Like we can't even... Why are we replicating that for?
And why are you coming to me for that? Like, what in my work shows this reference? You know what I mean? Like, I think sometimes people don't get it.
I think a lot of times I don't get it. Like a Sparky friend of mine, he very early on, he wanted me to help him do his logo and his brand. Which is pretty rudimentary. He's just a Sparky, right?
Yeah.
And it honestly, like, that was all he wanted. When I say he's just a Sparky, I literally mean that he didn't want anything flashy. He just wanted me just to give him something.
Yeah.
But he kind of just left me just to do it.
Yeah.
He didn't really care how it turned out because
it's kind of nice.
It is because he appreciates it as a Sparky. He's like,
that's not my expertise.
Yeah, he's like, I wouldn't expect to go to someone's house and have them tell me how to fit all the wiring
how
together.
to do their job.
Yeah, so then I don't expect myself to know how it is that you do yours. So just
do the thing.
Yeah, and to have opportunities like that, they're rare.
Yeah, like to have complete trust from a client is is not like a
Yeah.
normal thing, right?
So like I was saying, I've just pared back from looking for work, and as it comes, then I'll see if there's capacity to work on it. But it has to sort of be, and this is a very privileged position where I can sort of decide if I want to do it or not.
Yeah, if it aligns with what you want to do.
If it aligns with what I want to do, if I have the capacity to do it. But that's by no means saying that like I'm in any position to just to be denying work because I'm, you know, on top of it, sitting on this mountain of gold here. It's just picking and choosing my battles.
I think that's important though. I think people underestimate the things that you say, like the things that you say no to is just as important as the things you say yes to.
Yeah.
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 You know, and like most people like put more weight on the things you say yes to, but also the things that you're like, you know what, that's not right for me.
I just shared this post from a conversation I had with Tom Adair.
Yeah, yeah.
And one of the things I spoke about was like sometimes we have like this really narrow focus. If you have a particular deadline and you're so hyper fixated on wanting to hit that deadline without even thinking whether or not that is the deadline you should be hitting,
Yeah.
or if that's the deadline you should be hitting now.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you feel as though that you're working towards this particular direction, and you're kind of like almost forcing your way into that without thinking whether or not like, is this actually serving me?
Is this deadline helping or hindering?
Or it's not even just a deadline, but is the thing that I'm working on
Yeah.
and so fixated on, is that actually
Worth
helping?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's hard to know, right?
Oh, you just never know.
Yeah, you don't know till you throw it, right?
Yeah, and it's just that whole process of like, all the decisions that I've made to get to this point, is this where I should be?
Yeah.
I guess you sort of is where you should be, but is
Yeah,
it where I
because
want to be?
you wouldn't be where you are if you know what I mean. Like if the decisions hadn't led you there, I guess. But yes, like could you have? I don't know. It's too nebulous to me.
Or even just leave things to serendipity. I kind of like relinquished a lot
Yeah.
of control and just letting things just happen as they happen.
Yeah. Cool. I mean,
I don't know if that's the right approach either.
I don't think there is a right or wrong approach, right? It's just what works at the moment. I think that's like with anything. Like you can be like, hey, this is the right or wrong. You know what I mean? Like as long as you're not hurting anybody else. You know what I mean? Like as long as you know what I mean? Like as long as you're not making yourself like you're ruining yourself to do something. I think. Yeah.
I do sometimes ruin myself to get stuff done.
Yeah, I mean, I think every creative does, right? Every creative's probably stayed up to 4 a.m. and then backed it up at 8 a.m. to get something done.
Yeah.
And I think that's...
But then that's the question is like, was it worth it? Was the thing that you were getting done
really worth it.
Was it worth it? Is that the thing that really serves you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends what it is.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
that's what I'm asking.
Yeah. And it's really hard. Yeah, and I think if it's commercial work, probably not. But if it's like something for yourself that you're like, oh, I think this is... If the decision is entirely on you and you think at that time that you should be staying up to 4 a.m. to do it, then maybe it is worth it. Because otherwise, why are you doing it? Like, rather than, you know, I mean, like, unless, like, you're putting, like, undue pressure on yourself, like, how will people perceive this? Or, you know what I mean? Like...
What's your headspace like between the commercial work and your private practice?
So commercial work is very much like... It is partly like it is what it is, you know? Like I can really separate my brain and be like, you know what? Like I still want to deliver a great thing if I can. But like obviously commercially I know that like if we're talking design, like I'm like, oh, you know, like I'm going to do the best job I can. But if the project leads a certain way that I'm like not super happy with, I'm like, oh, that's fine.
Let it go.
Yeah, like I'm happy to let it go. Like, I mean, if you asked me that 15 years ago, probably like felt like I was bashing my head against the wall because you know what I mean, like you're trying to fight for the work because you like, you know, this thing can be great, but like clients don't always see it that way. So you're like, whereas like your own projects, like I'm like everything I can do to make that better, I will.
Yeah, you are right about like when you're very early on in your career, you do want to try to push the point sometimes a little bit too far.
Yeah.
And there have been times where I've just even wanted to say to the client, look, I'll fucking just like give it to you at this point. Just take this option. This is the option I want to present you.
Yeah.
I don't want to go down this path. Take this one. But then at the same time, and this is what I guess like the whole, what's the deadline? And you can take the proxy of deadline and it could be getting paid.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, which is the most important thing, right, of commercial work.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, like you're doing
so
it to get
if you
paid.
present something that is coming from your heart and you're like, this is the best package design option for you.
Yeah.
And like, I don't like it. It's like, all right, fine, scrap it. Let's just get what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Just to get it across
Path
the
of
line.
least resistance.
In a lot of ways, that's the way.
Yeah. And like obviously like there's still times where like a client, if they're on the fence, like that's where I think the push comes. But if they're adamant that thing is not the thing, there's no point. Like you're just going to waste your energy, their energy. They're probably going to be unhappy with you.
There'll be
You're going to be, you know, like there'll be friction on both sides. So it's almost like, okay, I see where your head's at. Let's get this thing done. Let's move forward.
Yeah. And that's also something that I underestimated, and this is kind of why like I have pared back, is that whole relationship and developing that rapport.
Yeah.
And I guess that you've that's something that you have to really hone in on, and that's the biggest part of being a professional designer.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it is. Yeah, for sure.
It's just knowing how to. I don't want to say massage the egos, but that's a part of it.
Yeah, for sure.
And just to recognize that you're providing a service.
Yeah, and I think certain clients want you to be certain different people, right? You sometimes feel like you're acting with clients.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like certain clients want you to be one way, other clients don't like that at all. So you feel like, oh, you have a different persona for this client as opposed to that client?
That's true. That's
weird.
That's a
It's
really
weird.
good point. That's a really good point. How like it is a bit of like sitting here and chatting with people. You're just bouncing off. You're just taking that energy, and you have to really lock in and know how to navigate that space.
Yeah, for sure. Like it's like a weird dance.
But then when you're able then to pens down, tools down,
Yeah.
going home, what's the switch like?
It's like, I mean, it's just like, I mean, this is like, I mean, I don't know, maybe this is just me, making art for myself feels easy. Like it actually doesn't feel challenging. Like I know some people are like, I feel like I can, you know what I mean? Like I never have like painting block or idea block. Like I've got like a book of list of ideas, like every time like I do an idea, I cross one off, but for every idea I cross off, I've got like another 6 exhibition ideas, and the list keeps getting bigger, and I think that's the weirdest thing for me. The more you're creative, the more creativity you have. It's like a weird thing. It's like the more you do it, the more you have of it.
Yeah, the more you accumulate. And
Yeah,
it just
which is like
ramps up.
Yeah, which is not like, I don't know if everything always works like that. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Like, you know what I mean? The more energy you use, often the more burnt out you are. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
But like creativity works in the opposite way. The more you're creative, the more creativity you have.
I think it also works with like any kind of pursuit, not just creative, but like if you're, I'm just going to use getting in the head of an athlete.
Yeah.
I imagine that if you're starting to see some kind of results,
Yes.
or if there's a bit of traction and momentum,
Yeah.
you're just going to keep feeding into that.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's like.
But again, it's probably just not to do with like any. I mean, there will be burnout and fatigue, but I think that it has to do just with like just the energy. Whatever it is that you're feeling. You're feeding.
Yeah. You're kind of feeding that weird life force. If it was like an animal, you know what I mean? Like you're feeding it with the thing you're doing, it's only going to get stronger.
Yeah. And I wonder if the people that claim that they're not creative, they just haven't given themselves the opportunity.
I think everybody's creative, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I think it's a weird thing to say. Like,
Yeah, it is.
It's just like I don't know. It's like, I'm not creative. Well, everybody's creative. Like, your creativity might just be different to my creativity. And I think that's as simple as it is. Like, so bizarre to be like, I can't be creative. It's like, well, everybody in anything they do in life, you're creative in one way or another.
Yeah, you got to make a decision. You're at an intersection, you're turning left or turning right.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what's the rationale behind the decision you've made?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
So these NGV, man, at the minute.
Yeah. NGV art book
Books,
fair?
art books.
Yeah.
I love how books in general have this big resurgence.
Yeah, like printed matter in general, I think. Anything
Yeah.
print is like booming.
Something with tactility.
Yes.
Something that you touch with texture.
Yeah, I think it's like I think unfortunately, like we are so hyper digital, right? So I think people are like, it's like when one side leads too far, the other side leads back.
Yeah.
I think it's like, for lack of better terms, yin and yang kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like everything's balanced, right?
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see where everything kind of unfolds because this is also like just having these conversations.
Yeah.
It has kind of led me down a certain way of with my art just being quite tactile.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
I never would have thought that I'd be making frames, woodworking.
Yeah, that's cool.
I love it.
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
I also think, but like I think making something with your hands, it's like so tangible, right? You like you see, feel, and it exists. Like whereas you make something digitally, it exists, but it's not the same.
It's most certainly not. Because I remember when I had how far down was it? Maybe my second or third professional job.
Yeah.
Professional.
Job. Yeah. I know what you mean.
It was with an online retailer, and it was strictly just digital.
Yeah.
And the job before that was largely print.
Yeah, right.
So
Big change.
It was a big change, but oh mate, it was so good. It was so good to not have to worry about print.
Yeah.
There's so many ways things can fuck up in print, as you would know.
Yes,
So many ways. So to not have to worry about that. And then one of the things about print is that once it goes to print and there's a mistake,
You can't fix it.
oh mate, it's it.
It's locked in.
It's locked in.
Yeah.
Digital, you make a mistake, change it 2 seconds later, update it, no worries.
Yeah, I remember I was working on for a client back in the day, and we did like travel brochures, but they were like doing massive runs. I'm like talking like maybe 100K runs, and they printed the wrong. Like everybody missed it, the wrong year date on the front, because they just used last year's template, and so they were hand stickering. Like the printers were hand stickering the fronts, covering over the front. It was insane.
Yeah, so when going from print to digital, it was such a relief. And that just basically became everything. My work was, I mean, like we work as a design, mostly digital.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
99% digital.
Yeah.
And occasionally things need to be printed.
Yeah.
Occasionally.
Even so rare now, though.
It is rare. I still love, like, when I still try to push business cards.
Yeah.
I think that there is that gesture of handing something to someone.
I agree.
Having them take it, feel it in their hands.
What it's like, yeah, like it's harder to throw out a business card than it's harder to throw out an email, right?
Yeah. I mean, emails are just gone.
Yeah, it's like delete, but like at least if you hand something to someone, who knows, it might sit in their wallet and 6 months down the track, they're like, oh, I need that thing.
Or even just the memory of holding something.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, so anyway, so going from digital and then now sort of transitioning back across and again through conversations, just feeling as though that handmade things is just, funnily enough, the way of the future.
I think so. And I think it's just naturally going to happen. Like, I think we're at the point where it's like we're on the cusp of, like, there just being too much content.
Too much, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, whereas, like, overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't know about you, but I feel that. Like, you jump online and you're like, whoa, like, and then I think if AI truly takes hold, like people are assuming, it's like the level of content will probably 100-fold, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then truly probably, I don't know. Like I've even had this conversation with people before. Like maybe it'll get to the point where there's so much content, you'll go to like a curated website and you only experience in a website in like, hey, this is your curated website of things that you're interested in.
That's kind of what's happening, right? Now, what I mean by that, like all these social media platforms are curated.
Yes, but you don't really choose, right?
Well, no, you don't. And I think
Yeah.
a lot of people seem to think that you do have that freedom of choice.
Yeah.
But no, it's all
Whatever the algorithm feeds you.
it's engineered for you to feel as though that you have agency in the content that you're
taking in.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so easy just to lose time, just being like, scroll. Whoa, there's 2 hours gone. I don't know if you feel like that. I do.
I would jump on to post something and then just get into this doom scrolling.
Yeah.
And then like, oh, fuck, put it away. And then just realize I actually didn't do
the thing that you were supposed to do.
I was meant to do. Then I've got to like really lock in and go rudimentarily, just go step by step. It's like open, press the plus button, go to the file, and I
just use it as the tool it is for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a strange thing though, because you have to stay engaged.
Yes, I know. It's weird.
Yeah. And like, but we all say and feel the same way about it. And I don't know what that thing is called, but like how we all participate in a thing that we don't like to do, but we all do it because we all feel compelled to do it. But then at the same time, like if it wasn't there, we would all be better without without. Yeah. So we're all participating in a thing that
is our own demise. It's pretty,
Yeah.
pretty grim.
yeah.
But I don't know what the alternative is. I mean, yeah. I mean, we could go back to like where people just did things in real life, which
Ooh.
which is kind of nice, right? Which I think in a large way people are. I think there's like a rejection to like, I think people still do things digitally, but people are largely doing, I think maybe my just perception, people are more trying to do things in person.
Yeah. I mean, as in
Anything.
this human connection.
Yeah, human connection, like in anything, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Well, that was the point of this as well.
Yeah, true. It's
Having
like,
real conversations.
yeah, it's like you're actually sitting down face to face
Yeah.
with someone. Yeah.
Because early on, I did a couple that were video.
Yeah.
And I just had to stop.
It's hard, right? You can't read somebody. You can't, like, there's so much, I don't know. There's disconnect.
It was a lot of disconnect because if they were overseas, there'll be a bit of a delay.
Yeah.
And depending on their internet connection and also depending on the quality of their equipment. And I can't expect people to have good quality equipment.
You can't expect, hey, to come on my podcast, you need this kind of mic setup. And yeah, it's like difficult.
Yeah. So then I've just decided, no, it's not doing the thing that I want it to do.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to actually converse with people,
Yes.
sit across from them.
Yeah.
So then then I'm like, no, I'm sorry. It's just going to
That's
be.
just the way it is.
This is just the way it is.
Yeah.
It is somewhat limiting, but at the same time,
But I think you work in limitations. I think limitations like are underrated.
ooh, maybe that could be the theme of this.
Yeah, I think so. Because like I think like I actually heard like I don't know who it was, but like a good photographer said like if you want to do a photo project, you have to give yourself limitations.
Mm-hmm.
Whether the limitation is, hey, you can only take a photo within 5Ks radius of where you live, whether you can only take a photo of a certain color, where you can only take your photo of a certain subject matter, but limitations is what helps make a body of work.
I love that.
And it's like so basic, but it does work.
Isn't that ironic that limitations are so freeing, where it just removes what's the choice paradox?
Yeah, because otherwise I think the endless possibilities is what makes it hard to land on something.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I mean, like, I think if you have endless possibilities, you're always like, but what about that? Or what about this? You know what I mean? There's always a what if. But if you're in limitations, you kind of like, you're working in those boundaries and you're like, you use those boundaries as a springboard to push those boundaries as far as possible too, though. Because you're like, how far can I push those boundaries? In my limitations, how far can I push?
Yeah. That's mad. All right, I'm going to have to put up some tight guardrails with the things that I'm doing. Because it's at the point where there's just so many ways that things can go. And, and I think that was what we were talking about earlier, about the experimentation and just trying to be open to it.
Yeah.
Where sometimes we're like, look, just stop.
Yeah.
Lock in on this one thing and really explore this one thing. Yeah, that's really good. And also, when you give yourself these parameters, I'm thinking like this topic of like when you said that, you know, if you limit yourself to this, then you're just going to be looking for those things.
Yeah.
Then it just gives you that choice of what is it that I want out of this.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you can just explore that. Like, for example, this reminds me of this video that I saw of Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
And he was on Theo Von's podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Where he was asking him just look around the room, look for the color red. Right?
Yeah.
So he was looking for things that were red. And then he asked him, like, you were also trying to find things that were probably just outside of, you know, just to the left and right of that spectrum.
Yeah.
So maybe you look for some burgundy,
Yeah,
some
you
brown.
might see some orange. Or,
Some orange, right?
Yeah.
So then it's like if you give yourself this direction to follow, and it could be something that is like more positively conducing, right? So instead of like that choice paradox, and this is the thing that gets me sometimes, where I could be like working on something and feeling so fucking good about it, and I'm like, fuck, is this the right thing to do? Is this the right direction?
Yeah, yeah.
But then it's like, no, there
Yeah,
is no other direction.
You kind of like. I think like when you make work, I think you have to push that aside and be like, you know what, like there might be a better way, but I'm liking what I'm doing, so I need to keep moving with this. Because otherwise, it's just like it's never ending, right? There's always going to be like something else you can explore. But if you're like enjoying the work you're making, you think you're landing on good results, then like that's the thing. Like, keep going.
How do you gauge what the good result is?
I mean, that's subjective. Like, I mean, like what I might think is a good result, somebody might think is a terrible result. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's like a feeling, right?
Yeah.
Like you're like, you know, in yourself, you're like, yeah, this is the one. And like, you probably like, I'm sure everybody does this. Like, I probably look back at some work and be like, oh, you know, like if I could redo that painting again, I might, oh, maybe that reference point wasn't quite right. Or, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's everybody.
That's probably not a bad practice either, right? Like
Yeah,
if you go back
Yeah.
and take an old piece that you did and give yourself this fresh lens.
Yeah, like how would you change it?
How would you change it?
Yeah,
and
true.
then make those adjustments.
Yeah. Even like, I mean, I've thought about that before, like even looking at old bodies of work and using the same collection of reference points. And then if I were to re-attack that same project, like where would it end up with the same reference points?
Dude, that's an interesting project. Like if you had a brief, even let's go back to like a design brief, and we can juxtapose that with your personal work, a design brief, and every 3 to 4 years, you redo that brief.
Yeah, cool.
And seeing what that result is. So it could be the same as like with your personal work. You have one project or one piece.
Yeah.
And I guess like I'm just imagining your process would be, you'll have a collection of different references.
Yeah.
You'll go through a process of collating them as you do.
Yes.
And then from this collation, like, oh, I like this.
Yeah. It's more or less what happens. Yeah, for sure.
And then you'll go and, I don't know, they're probably already photocopied, but then you blow it up to whatever scale. So it could be at some point you have that same collection of pieces.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what would I do differently?
Yeah.
Now with this 3 to 4 years of life experience.
Yeah. How would I do it differently?
How would I do it differently? And just seeing how that evolves, that progression.
Yeah. I think someone even said like, you know, if you look back on all your work, if you like any old work and you've been like, if everything you've done in the past, you're like, oh, I nailed absolutely everything. It just means you haven't progressed.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the simplest thing, right? It's like, and also like, I think it goes to show that like what we probably thought was great at the time, 20 years down the track, will still be like, oh, you know, like you still might think it was great, but you'd be like, wow, I could have really made that better. But that's fine. I think that's good. And I think that's like another thing that's like drawing a line in the sand is important, being like, you know what, this is the best I'm doing at this present time. And I don't think it's going to be the best thing I do in 10 years time.
But then, I agree. There's also like this element of letting go.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
Like, it doesn't necessarily even have to be the best that you can do now, because there are going to be a whole bunch of other factors.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but then it's just like accepting that.
Yeah.
I kind of liken it to like if you have a rug.
Yes.
And it has a stain on it.
Yeah.
Like the first time you stain it, it's a stain, right? But then after multiple times, it now has character.
Yes,
right?
So
it's almost like that if you allow the space to fuck up, then you're adding the character into the work that you otherwise wouldn't be able to have. Like, let's say for yours, if you had some of the markings that you made, if you tried to get all the brushstrokes perfect, then you're removing a lot of the textures that will show that it was made by hand.
Yeah, the nuance of it feeling handmade. Yeah, for sure.
So then it's just a matter of allowing those things to come into play.
Yeah. I think things don't need to be perfect. I think, I don't know, maybe this is me. I think it's better if something exists than it being perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's like there's a line in there that like, I still think something can be objectively good without being perfect. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, I mean,
like you have to have I still think you have to have a standard.
You need to have a standard, and I think that the standard could be just to be almost not intentionally imperfect, but Yeah, maybe intentionally imperfect. Like just for example, the post that you put up not that long ago about just doing the reveal.
Yeah,
Like
true,
isn't that post just way better than actually having dropped that piece perfectly?
Yeah, true, probably.
You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that's,
probably.
you owned it, and like
Yeah.
because you see how many times people do a reveal, and for me, is you're doing a reveal, I'm just scrolling past it anyway. But then the fact that yours wasn't perfect,
then it's like it's the thing that makes it interesting. And I think that's, probably that's like life in general, right? If something is perfect, you probably like, you dismiss it. It's a bit like, it's probably boring.
It's boring.
Yeah. It's like a character comes from imperfections. Because I think we just relate more to it because we're like naturally flawed beings. You know what I mean? Like nobody is perfect. So like it feels more human.
What does that even mean, man?
You know what I mean? Like nobody has made every perfect decision. Like I mean, you know what I mean? Like nobody's like, the best.
Like in the art that I'm trying to create now, trying to tap into, I guess, a bit of intuition.
Yeah.
But I don't think that I have a large enough bank of experience to tap into intuition just yet. But it's just trying to see what that bank is. Because when I look at someone like, for example, your work, there's a particular consistency across the pieces that you do.
Yeah.
There's so many artists where I can say that even some that have locked in on their style, there is a consistency. Or even those that don't have, their style's a bit more fluid, there is something there that they can lean on and saying that, you know, you can see the evolution. And the evolution was either intentional or unintentional, but you can see that there's an essence there that they were able to
there's
keep.
like a through mark through the whole thing.
Yeah, there's a thread.
Yeah, for sure.
Whereas I think like what I'm trying to do is to identify what is that through line.
Yeah.
Right? So a lot of the decisions that I'm making are still improvised.
Yeah.
Right? Like I will look at this canvas and I will try to figure out this arrangement, like how you will go and figure out the composition.
Yeah, for sure.
Where I can't quite get that right.
Yeah, but I think mine's easy because I think people underestimate the using like things that kind of already exist and does make like intrinsically makes that process easier.
To not overthink it as well, right?
Yeah,
just
for
to
sure.
throw shit down.
Yeah, see what happens. Oh yeah, like maybe if I just move that one a little bit this way. Oh, that's cool.
It's like cool, lock it in.
Yeah.
And I think that's
I think decision making is actually important. Like just being like drawing a line and being like, hey, this looks good. Just like I think, and I think it's like trusting you, right?
That's what I was getting at. Like it feels as though that there is some artists like yourself that has a high degree of trust in your process.
Yeah.
But that could just be coming from having the runs on the board.
Yeah, man. But I think maybe. But I think even when I was early on doing it, I was like, I think I'd just, I don't know. I was like, this is the right thing. And I don't know intrinsically why that happened, but it just felt like there was like a sense of like knowing that this is the right thing. I also think it's just comes down to like like I don't have that thing in my brain where I'm like, oh, the what if. I think that what if doesn't exist for me.
Really?
Yeah, which I think naturally my brain is like limiting in like, you know what, like this is what I want to do, and that looks good, I'm going for it. Which cool. I don't think like everybody has that. So I think it's a true blessing, like that I'm like, you know what I mean? Like I know this is the thing I want to do, and when it looks right, it's right. And I'm not like, it's not like, I don't think like, oh, what if I rearrange it again and it's better?
You can just lock it in.
Yeah, lock it in. Yeah. I can make a decision. And I don't know if it's just like pure trust in the process or what it is, but it's just like, like I can just do it.
That's like what you were saying about the design brief when you can just get the one and done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't have that in my brain that I'm like, because I used to teach design as well. And like even if students would bring multiple ideas to me, I'd just be like, that's the one, go. And they're like, what do you mean? Like, what about this one? I'm like, no, this one. Just do that one.
There's a lot to be said about overthinking something.
Yeah, like
over finessing it.
Yeah. I think
like this Sam Absurd.
I heard. Yeah.
He has one video that took him, I think it was less than a minute. He had like 6 million views on it or something like that.
Crazy.
But because his work is incredible.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, so good.
And there are some pieces which are just so elaborate that'll take him days to finish, those large scale murals that he does. and there are some where he'll just throw up a one-liner.
Yeah.
Yeah, not even a minute. It just could be like 20
Yeah,
seconds.
20 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, 6 million views.
Yeah.
And it just
Blows up.
like. So it's so much just about that quickness where you don't overthink something. You just
Yeah, I
do it.
mean, I think that's what people think like the flow state is, right? Being in the
Yeah.
flow state, your brain is just making like, or whatever it is, your gut, whatever the thing is intrinsically. I actually think they did like a weird study on investors in stock market, and some of the most successful investors were not making decisions based on true data. They were making decisions based on gut feeling, and they were the ones that were more successful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my whole thing with data, and I could be completely wrong,
Yeah.
is that a lot of it is self-fulfilling,
Yeah, true.
right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if you tell someone that the success rate of art that sells has 80% red.
Yeah,
in it,
which is like, I think that there is a statistic that's like, I think art that has red in it is statistically more likely to sell.
I just completely made that up. Are you
But
for real?
yeah, there is. Yeah.
Okay.
I recently looked into it because I made a post about it. There's like a whole bunch of things. I think landscapes obviously statistically sell more. Maybe things with, is it chickens? I don't know. Certain animals. I can't remember. But yeah, red I think is one that statistically sells more.
Oh, well, shit. Maybe I didn't make that up. Maybe it was
Yeah.
planted in there then.
Yeah.
See? Anyway, my point is that if you put that stat out there,
Yeah.
then you're going to have more artists painting
Painting with
red.
red,
So
which
therefore, there's going to be
it's
more art selling with
red.
red, right?
But yeah, true.
So that's the thing with data. And then, like, even with social media, if you go look up, when's the best time to post?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they'll give you this time frame, and then everyone posts at that time.
Yeah, because that's when you post.
That's when you post.
Yeah.
So then, what the fuck, right? Like,
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Like with data, it just becomes self-fulfilling. And the point at the end of the day is that it seems to be the driver of behavior.
Yes.
So then it can now flip back to what we were saying originally. The best way to get cut through is just to do the shit that no one else is doing.
Yeah. And I think that's the key to everything, right? Like if you can do what nobody else is doing, you like.
But you don't even have to necessarily be intentional.
No, I don't think so. I think if you are like, if you're intentionally being like, everybody's doing this, I'm going to do the opposite. That's when it's like,
Yeah, edgy.
Yeah. And I think that's when it loses its meaning, right? So
it's just a matter of just narrowing it down and just there's that balance then.
Yeah.
Now you were saying about just having how limitations actually help you expand and broaden your practice, which I hadn't even given a thought till you said that, but that's absolutely fucking true.
yeah, I think I mean, I found it true for me. Maybe it won't be for others, but I think it just makes your life easier, and then you just explore more in that space.
Yeah.
Because I think you can't explore everything.
So then once you have that mentality, find the limitations that you're comfortable working with.
Yes.
And then you can start narrowing everything down
Yeah.
to what makes you uniquely you then.
Yeah. And it kind of is like a clear path then.
I think we just solved something here.
I don't know if we solve something, but I think it's like an easier tool for making work. Like I think even if you started like thinking about the things that are important to you in making work, like I think, like already certain things like certain colors,
Yeah.
gradients,
Yeah.
like, and by working in those and just being aware of those limitations, I think you're just taking further possibilities away.
Yeah.
Which makes it easier to make a decision, which then, like, I think by nature, you're going to become more intuitive when you're making your work.
Yeah, but then at the same time, like this is
Yeah.
fucking how my brain works. I like contrast.
Yeah.
So having black and white mixed with color or to contrast.
Yeah.
Right? Like having a large space that's void of color
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
introducing like a slither of color.
Yeah,
I think that works really well as well.
Well, there's another rule for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I was thinking about that. I was actually thinking about that as a particular series that I want to do, which will just be largely black and white with a dash of color.
yeah.
So I'm going to put that limitation down the track.
Yeah. I think you'll find like maybe I'm just the exception to the rule, but I think they'll find the limitations will make it easier to make work.
No, I completely agree. Has to. Because we only have capacity for so much.
Yeah. I agreed. And I think that's the thing, right? Is otherwise it's just like it's just truly endless. You'd be like anything and everything.
And then that's when all the negativity creeps in, when you start seeing shortcomings.
Yeah, true.
Because you're now comparing yourself to a gold standard that's just unachievable because there's just too many options out there.
Yeah, and then like, yeah, it's a slippery slope.
I think that's the thing. Like, now that I like look at this philosophy of how you approach your work and looking at your work, it makes so much sense. I'm gonna sit on this for a bit.
No, you're right.
And then like with yours, scale is a big deal.
Yeah, scale is important.
Is it always, because it wouldn't work the same if it was small. If it was the same, if you were almost like replicating the compositions as they were, and you just took it one for one.
I actually did some at my last Melbourne exhibition. They're like small drawings.
Yeah.
And I mean,
just with marker.
Yeah, just pencil on paper. Yeah, and they were just framed.
Yeah.
It was kind of nice, but I think it was nice because they were contrasted by the big pieces.
Right.
Like if I just had an exhibition of just the small ones, I don't think it would work. I think they need the big needs to contrast the little. Kind of gave purpose to the little pieces because it was a wall of the little ones.
I wonder if you juxtapose your pieces with the reference material just to...
I've thought about that. Yeah. Just like the actual tiny collages.
Yeah, because then we can just see what it was that we were originally dismissing.
Yes.
Like these little snippets, like hadn't even given a shit about it.
Yeah,
and then now we can look at it and almost like, oh,
yeah, that's
right,
where it came from.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting perspective.
It always comes down to contrast, man.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what I was saying about like our works are vastly different.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think that it all comes back around where there's so much complementary. So I could sit down and just have this conversation with you and learn so much, and just saying, how can you, in your practice that's so vastly different to mine, what can I take from this and apply it to mine, to making it better by having those particular guardrails to give it its own lane.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. I don't know. Like,
I mean, principally, it makes a lot of sense, man. Principally, it's just a matter of like, instead of thinking about what it is that I want to do, think about what it is you don't want to do.
Yeah. I think that's sometimes like a way is like the reverse. Like it's easy to start crossing things out that you don't want to do. But then I also think when you double it back, it does make it easy to come back and be like, oh, actually, I want the thing to have this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm sure there's like certain things when you think about your work, you're like, this is one thing I want it to have.
I do. I love contrast and complementary.
Yeah.
I think they're integral in art.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So whether it be it, but it just depends on how you want to define it.
Yeah, for sure.
Your contrast and complementary is, the contrast is obvious, it's just black and white.
Yeah.
The complementary would be, or even the contrast would be the scale as well, right?
Yeah, true,
Scale of seeing something bigger. And just to go on a tangent, I've had this other, she's a sculptural artist, I guess, Tiki Sontag.
I don't know.
She does little miniatures, but they're fucking funny and they're awesome.
Yeah.
She's got a great sense of humor about herself. But it's just almost taken like, she takes real world scenarios, adds an element of absurdity in those.
Cool. Yeah.
And it's just a little miniature.
Yeah.
A miniature scene.
Yeah, right.
But there's something about seeing something at a distorted scale that's so captivating.
Yeah. Well, it's like out of the norm, right? You're like instantly in another world.
You're in another world.
Yeah.
So I think scale is a big one for yours, contrast. So I think for me, it's just then the lessons I'm taking here and just trying to see how they can be applied to a largely very different aesthetic. And there's so much there, man. I'm actually really looking forward to painting after this.
Awesome. That's the main thing. Yeah.
But yeah, back to books, because this is, again, like, while on the theme of contrast and complementary, you've got an understanding of like how things ebb and flow, swings and swinging back.
Yep.
I don't think that, like, the book itself and having something tactile and tangible, I don't think that's ever going to go, man.
I don't think so.
I don't think that.
I think that's why like paintings will always have a place. You know what I mean? Like physical art will always have a place.
Yeah, but I think like the challenge is how they're experienced, which is the problem.
Yes.
Because we were saying about like the galleries and how galleries are struggling
Yeah, for sure.
at the moment. But what's the gap? Like, how do we?
How do we narrow that gap?
Yeah,
I don't
because
know.
it's still, like you were saying, if art is still going to be ever present, something that's going to be experienced through actual physical interaction
Yeah,
with
yeah,
it,
yeah.
or physically seeing it,
Yes.
then what's the gap? How do we get people out there?
I don't know. I think a big thing of it is like the reason I love books is they're accessible. Like I can generally afford to buy my favorite artist's book, right? I can't afford to buy my favorite artist's painting.
Yeah.
It's just it's like a financial justification. Like, you know, and like I can't, you know, like, yeah,
When you're talking specifically art books,
Yeah.
then yeah. But yeah, you can't really. But even sometimes art books are hard to come by, man.
yeah, for sure. Like often limited numbers, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, they can be a challenge.
Maybe that's the thing. Maybe like it should be a goal for a lot of artists. And I think it is actually
Yeah.
a goal for a lot of artists, just to be able to collate a book.
Yeah, and I mean that's one thing that people really like. I try to, every time I do a big body of work, is I try to make even just for myself, I make a book about the body of work,
Oh,
like a documentation.
right.
Yeah, so like I'll collate all the pieces. I'll probably collate a whole bunch of the research, and I'll make a book that I put in my own bookshelf that I can come back to and look at that project.
That's a great idea.
It's like to me, like because normally when you're working on a big body of work, it's for an exhibition, right? And the exhibition lasts for, like, let's say, like the best case scenario, probably a few months, and then it's kind of gone, and then you don't come back to it. But if you have that book in your shelf, pull it out, you can remember everything, and you can remember the process you went through, and you can look at things, and you can. I mean, it's also just a great way to look back, and also show people the work you've done.
Yeah.
It's like so tangible. But that's why I make them for myself.
Yeah.
Those ones, because I think it's like cool for me to just have like my process, like, and a look back on an exhibition or a body of work and be like, oh, it was so cool to see how that came together or that didn't, or be like, oh, you know what, I'm not so sure about this. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool to look back.
And it takes some of the editing out of your hands at this point, like in the making. You can just collate.
Yes, for
and
sure.
then give yourself an opportunity to reflect when you have gone through the whole
Yeah,
lot.
and I also think, when you have like a big exhibition, it's so, I don't know, I find it so anticlimactic.
I know what you mean.
It's, you kind of sometimes feel like the night of the exhibition, like, you're like, is this it?
Yeah.
Because it's like, you spend like fucking ages making a body of work, and then all of a sudden it's like, you exhibited it, and then it's like, cool, but now what?
Now what?
And I think I think the book is that nice, now what? Is like, I've always got a memory of it. Like, I can put it in my bookshelf, I can come back to it. But if I didn't have that book, it'd probably just be some files, like some photos on my computer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's a good point, and that's what's happened with how we capture moments now. Right?
Yeah,
like,
true.
I used to, my parents, when I was little,
Yeah.
when they tucked me in, we'd go through old photos.
Photo books.
When they used to
Photo
live
albums.
in London, so when they were in their 20s,
Yeah.
we'll go through the photos, and it was like,
It's magical, right?
It's magical,
Yeah,
man. I
yeah,
have
yeah.
memories of those times, and we don't do that,
No.
right? Like
Yeah.
we actually print photo albums
Yeah,
now.
yeah. That's, I mean, that's like, some people don't though. Some people don't even do that.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't. But it's like the easiest thing. It's just so seamless to do it now. You can just jump on a website, drop in the images,
Yeah.
and pay whatever. Like, it's inexpensive
Yeah,
as well.
it's not crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have that memory there. So occasionally when you do, feel like reminiscing.
Yeah.
But like what I was saying about your art books, I think it's great because like you don't. Maybe that's the thing. Like for you, when you say you don't have any photos of the exhibitions you had in London, maybe that's just not the way that you're kind of like wired, or that's just not the way that you like to capture moments.
Yeah, true.
You like to capture the moments in something that's just that has more of the memory embedded in the fibers of it.
Yeah.
It could be that.
For sure.
And you're really good at documenting your process as well.
I haven't always been. Like, I reckon I made a concerted effort maybe like, let's say 4 years ago to
Yeah.
start documenting. Like I'd done a terrible job before then. Like I have loads of exhibitions I don't even have a single photo from.
Oh, shit.
Like I swear, like I don't even have a single photo. Like I reckon every exhibition I was in London, I don't have a single photo.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so like I was awful. But then I literally started to make like I'm gonna start doing this.
I'm not even saying documenting the finished product.
Yeah,
of it
yeah,
all.
but the process of
The
doing it.
process and just the way that you speak to it as well is really interesting. I
Yeah.
take a lot out of it, man. And
Yeah,
we
that's
talked
good.
about this. I think I don't want to even say that it feels raw and genuine because it does, but I think that it just almost seems like effortless the way the things that you're presenting.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's so much shit that we all kind of go through
Yeah, yeah,
as
for sure.
creatives that we
And none of us talk about it.
we don't. It feels like, you're just sort of like on a lonely island
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah, truly, truly. I think people underestimate that when you're making art. It's just generally you in a room. It's like a truly solemn experience. Like it's just you.
Yeah, for better or worse.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
There are moments where, like, and then like there was one post that you put up and you commented about like just having to you get back from your 9 to 5 and then you just straight into your private
Yeah.
practice, your personal practice, and it's just a grind. But then I'm sure that there'll be other times where you're like, "Fuck, how good is this?"
Oh, I mean, like don't get me wrong, it is a grind, but I fucking love making art. Like I think at the end of the day, like if I didn't love it, I wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? Like why would I, like if I didn't enjoy it, like why would I waste my time?
Not with art. I think there's definitely a lot of pursuits that people do that they really do not enjoy.
Really? It sounds so bizarre to me.
It's true, dude. I mean, think about it. There's heaps of people just work in a job that they hate.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. But like I think people have bills to pay. I can understand like the necessity for people like.
I disagree though.
No, that's fine.
I mean, yeah, there are bills to pay, but if you take no satisfaction from your job,
Yeah, yeah.
then maybe find something that is a little bit satisfying that you can. I think that there's something that you can take from every job.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
for
Like
sure.
if you're not taking anything away from your job, do something else.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
mean,
not necessarily saying create art.
No,
Like, find
for sure.
fulfillment in what it is that you're doing.
But I think no matter what you do, if you can't find anything from what you're doing, like it's probably like a deeper issue, right?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like there's probably fulfillment in every job.
there should be.
Yeah. And if you can't find that, then maybe it's like, yeah, like maybe you need to like reassess.
Yeah. Take a minute.
Yeah, it's just like start to think about like what things you can like without being like too airy fairy, like what things you can be grateful from that experience, like what
Essentially.
you're learning, like what you can take away.
I mean,
Because I
look-
think it's easy to like when you're going through a thing to just ignore those things. It's easy to be like, this, and like this sucks, that sucks, this sucks. But then like oh, like this part's actually good, or that part's good, or you know what I mean, like
That's true. We do have a tendency just to dwell on the negative.
yeah.
And
And I mean, I do that too. So, and like, I'm not like acting as if I'm like, like seeing the best in every scenario because I'm definitely not. But
yeah, look, man, we all doing the best that we can. I try to. I honestly try
Yeah.
to, man. There's a comedian Pete Holmes,
Yeah.
and he has this this term that he uses. Yes, thank you.
yeah, right.
And I learnt about that, and it's like you could say yes, thank you to everything. So obviously, some things harder or easier than others.
yeah, yeah,
But it's just one of those things that, like, even in the times when things are shit, upon reflection, like if you go back and look at all the turbulence that you've had in your life, all the negative experiences you've had, hopefully you've been able to take something from it rather than just moving on from that. You're taking a life lesson.
yeah. I think so. Like, if you're not learning from things that you're going through, then it's like,
Yeah.
you're probably not.
So then I think his thing was that, like, if you know down the track, if you're going to be taking something away from this experience and learning from this
Yeah.
experience, why not just bring it forward and have that appreciation for
Exactly.
it now?
Yeah, I agree. I think that's it's like a good way to look at it.
Yeah, so that the grind of doing the art, that's just something that is, I don't know, it feels worthwhile.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, otherwise, like, why would like if you didn't, yeah, like you wouldn't do it, right? Well, I mean, I wouldn't do it if I didn't think it was worthwhile. If I didn't think it was like intrinsically some part of me that needs to make art, I wouldn't do it.
So it's intrinsic.
I think so to
Yeah.
me. I think like I've always felt like I needed to do it.
Yeah, I think so. And I think that like some people don't even realize. I didn't realize
Yeah.
that some parts of the work that I was doing was something that I wanted to do until I started doing it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, ooh, this feels right.
Yes.
This
yes.
is there's something there.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you chose to be like do graphic design for a reason. I think most people who do graphic design in a weird way want to make art.
Yeah.
Like largely, they're just like,
Dude, I chose graphic design because I didn't know being an artist was a thing you could do.
yeah, same. Like I didn't realize you could, especially the art I
I
was.
still don't know if you can. to be
Yeah,
honest.
like true. Yeah, I don't know if you can. I know you can. I know certain people who do, and
Yeah.
I just felt like the art that I was interested in. Like, I mean, I stopped doing art in high school because my teacher was like Renaissance art or nothing, and I was interested. And the stuff I was interested was not at all like that.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I did graphic design because I was like, oh, you know, like I like skate decks, I like posters, you know what I mean? Like I like gig posters, you know what I mean? Like record covers. And I mean, that was like my first foray into it.
There is a career path.
Yes,
right?
yes,
Like
yes.
there's
It feels
steps.
Yeah, it feels possible.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm like, I wouldn't have never known the first steps to becoming a practice. Like, I mean, I still don't really know to be like a full-time practicing artist.
Well, how old are you?
38.
38. Okay, cool. So you're just a couple of years younger than me, but you're at the time where there was no social media when we were having to pick a career.
No.
So there was no, this is how you've been. Like right now you can see you have contact with all the artists at different degrees.
Yeah, for sure.
The artists who are just taking that leap now, all the way through to practicing for the last 30, 40 years and everything in between.
Yeah.
And you have a device that can connect you directly to them and see how it's done.
Yeah, and see what like their day-to-day looks like, or like what, you know? Like,
Yeah, and even like, did you go to uni for design?
No, I didn't.
I did.
Yeah.
Pointless. Because the best work that you're going to do is the work that you're just doing on your own.
Yeah, true.
Right? Like if you wanted to work in a specific industry, then you just create work for that industry.
Yeah.
And now with social media, you create it, you put it out there, and in a lot of cases, you're probably going to be, you can accumulate a following that's bigger than the company that you originally wanted to work
Yeah,
for.
for sure.
Like I freelanced at this, an agency
Yeah.
that had one of the artists that was working there. His following was astronomical.
Yeah.
And he had a much bigger following than the actual company
Place he was working, yeah.
And that's because he just kind of just was an artist in his own right.
And develop that over his time, then.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's probably not too different for you, right? Like your agency, they'll have their clientele, but
Yeah.
but there's something about James Bourbon that has more gravity.
Yeah, well, I think it's like the human aspect, right? I think it's like, I think like people. I still think people want to deal with people, and people want to know something comes from a person, and I think we're still like,
Yeah, we're in this uncanny valley.
yeah, true.
Yeah. I think we're going to get to a certain point. Like you've chatted with chat.
Yes.
Isn't that a bit of a bizarre kind of thing to be doing? Like I'm having conversations with a robot and getting frustrated at it.
Yeah, for not knowing like a basic thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, or telling you the wrong thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
And it's weird. It's weird for me to get frustrated at something and to talk about it and talk to it, like sometimes in a elevated tone.
Yeah.
When it's just like it doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. It's just regurgitating what it's been told. It's pulling all.
And there's no reciprocation in this dialogue.
No, for sure.
Right, like it's just a one-sided situation here.
Yeah. It's kind of reflecting what you want to hear in a weird way.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like just like self. Yeah, it's like in a weird way, it's probably your best hype person.
I have asked chat like occasionally, like, is this just ridiculous? Is everything that I'm doing, is it just ridiculous? And it'll kind of like know that I want to hear that it
It's
is,
not.
but you can do it.
Yeah, right.
But then it's like it's self-perpetuating.
Yeah.
That I'm only able to do it because I'm having someone patting me on the back. That's
yes,
saying,
rather than yeah, like. Well, I mean, I think if you didn't think it was possible, you wouldn't be trying to do it.
Yeah, I guess not.
You know what I mean? Like.
Oh, dude, I know exactly where this is going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just when I say exactly, I don't know exactly where it's going.
Yeah.
But it's one of those like if you stick around long enough
Yeah.
and you just keep going,
And
you'll get there.
yeah, I think that's like anything. Persistence gets you way, like, I mean, you know, like, talent will only get you so far, but like, consistency or, you know, like, just sticking to the thing will get you so much further.
And that's probably why it's important to have those guardrails and to have those limitations.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that you're following this particular trajectory.
Yes, a path, like, rather than just being able to go any which way.
Yeah.
Like, keeps you on like a solid road, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think guardrails, like, at least keep you on a path moving in a direction.
Yeah. I think of it like bumper bowling.
Yeah, true. Like, yeah, exactly. The guardrails are like the bumpers.
Yeah, to stop you from
Going into the
gutter.
to the gutter, yeah.
Metaphorically,
or into the next lane.
Or to the next lane, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Which is not necessarily a bad thing, if that's what you so desire.
I mean, shit, you got to be
But
on some kind of course.
Yeah.
So
But I think some people aren't.
better to be your lane than the next one.
Exactly. Yes.
We're just pulling out metaphors. I love it.
Yeah, bowling metaphors are the
I love
best
it.
metaphors.
Yeah, I love it. Actually, there's a lot in there. There's a lot in bumper bowling that you could extrapolate to life.
True. Yeah.
You're in Melbourne.
Yeah.
For a art book fair,
Yeah.
and I pulled you away from it.
No, that's fine.
How was it looking earlier today? Anyway,
It was busy.
It
It's like-
was?
Yeah, it's all like, I mean, it's always busy. It's like the National Gallery. Like,
Yeah,
today's like student day though. Like, lots of high school kids come through,
oh, cool.
so it's pretty chaotic. Yeah.
And you left your partner there.
Yeah, she's manning the stall.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this weekend, I think the weather's looking a bit grim on Sunday, but tomorrow should be pretty nice though.
That's good.
Man, but Melbourne City, you know what it's like.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just-
Like, I think every year I've done Melbourne Art Book Fair, it's always rained the whole time.
Oh,
Or
okay,
largely.
cool, perfect.
So it's like nice to have some sunshine, even though I'm in a room. But you know, it's nice.
No, it's good. It's got a good energy, man. I love the
Yeah.
NGV.
Yeah.
I used to have back before I was settled into this space.
Yeah.
Had a membership.
Oh, yeah, cool,
And it was
yeah.
really, really nice just to go there. I worked from the lounge.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so you go in the morning, and most of the people, because they open up at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And when people are there at 10 a.m., they're there for whatever exhibition.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
not there for the permanent collection.
Yeah.
So I'll get in there at 10
And go
and walk the corridors, and it's empty, man.
Nice.
Yeah, so you're just there and just kind of like just settle into the day. Then you make your way to the lounge room, and you're in the right space. Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of cool to experience like a gallery at that scale just by yourself too.
It is.
It's weird,
Yeah.
but it's cool.
It's almost like I've thought about it. So I was like, what would it be like post-apocalyptic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you've seen that guy's videos of this guy on the internet who obviously recorded everything while COVID was on, and it's just this guy walking through like places, and he claims he's it's insane. He claims he's a time traveler because he's just walking through all these places that are normally busy,
Yeah.
but there's nobody in them. Like,
Where was he?
like all over the world. There was videos of him in Times Square, just like walking
All over
through.
the world. How did he travel?
I don't know, or he's just picking days that's like these places. I don't know how it works, but these videos of like walking through Times Square in the middle of the day and nobody's there, and it just feels weird. It feels so like surreal. It's like,
Yeah, it's a crazy feeling. Walking around the gallery was nice, and I think it's important. It's important to put yourself in an environment as well, and that's one of the guardrails is just to make sure that the environment is conducive to the energy that you want to put out.
yeah, fair.
So the NGV is the right spot for you.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. No complaints, but you know.
Mate, I've got to get you back there because, I pulled you away for quite a while.
No, that's
We've been
okay.
going at this for a good bit of time, man.
Yeah. Well, it's been great chatting.
Dude, it's really, really awesome just to, connect with you, to discover your work and just to, connect on the socials, and super awesome just to have you swing by the pod while you're just doing your little short trip to Melbourne.
Yeah. Thanks so
Mate,
much.
James Bourbon, thank you very much, dude.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks again.